Hey, how's the sickie?
I'm just not up for filming an episode today.
I brought you a present. Aiyanna and I already wrote the episode of Top 5. You don't even have to worry about it. Here, I'll read it for you.
Alright, sounds good. I'll try to stay awake.
Aiyanna was one of the fair maidens of Top 5. She fell in love with a man, akin. And only true love would be able to bring the two of them together. For
Hold on. What is this? Is this a kissing episode?
Since movies first began, love has been a central theme. Whether it drives the plot or is the butt of a joke, romance can be pivotal to any story. Nothing quite illustrates love better than a kiss exchanged between two people. Throughout the decades, audiences have experienced many passionate kisses, but which of these smooches is the best?
These are the top 5 best movie kisses. Number 5. More like broke news mountain, am I right? Let me explain. Ranch hands Innes and Jack are hired together to herd sheep for a summer in the mountains. While spending long hours together in Wyoming, the two men become intimate. They return to their lives after the job is over, but Jack is not welcome back to work the following summer after the man hiring had observed his relationship with Innes. Jack wants to start a life with Innes, who refuses to leave his new family and can't shake the memory of two men that were attacked for accusations of homosexuality when he was young. Although they cared for each other, the 1960s were not a time that same-sex relationships were widely accepted. Jack and Innes continue to reconnect on regular fishing trips, but both try to move on. The memorable line, "I wish I knew how to quit you," is uttered during the moment when Jack admits to Innes that he's not satisfied with their rendezvous being so infrequent. There's a gap when the two don't meet and settle into their respective family lives. When Jack visits Innes after 4 years, the men share an impassioned reunion kiss. After all that time apart, it was as if nothing changed between them. While shooting, director Ang Lee asked the actors to do the most heroic Western kiss, and Heath Ledger almost broke Jake Gyllenhaal's nose during the ensuing kiss. Their fleeting moments together are full of anger and passion. Since the only time they are free to be their true selves is out in the wilderness, all of their intimacy feels like they're constantly making up for lost time. Number 4. Titanic the film is a romantic take on the historic disaster. Kate Winslet plays Rose, a young passenger on the Titanic who is in an undesirable engagement to appease her family. Rose feels trapped in her life and decides to take control by throwing herself from the ship. Thankfully, a stranger is there to stop her from following through. This handsome stranger is Jack, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Rose gets to know Jack and realizes that although they're from separate social classes, she is far more attracted to him than her fiancé. Rose attends parties with the lower class and poses for Jack to sketch her, and soon their unlikely friendship quickly evolves into much more. When they first recognize their romantic feelings for each other, there's a sense of excitement and danger having to sneak around. After the fateful iceberg collides with the ship, the danger becomes quite literal, and Rose and Jack's feelings for each other elevate in urgency. There's a lot of intimate moments throughout the film that really move the story forward, but none are as recognizable as the moment they share on the bow of the Titanic. Once in a desperate, vulnerable place in her life, the stern of the ship was death for her. But in this moment, at the opposite end, she's reminded of her decision to live. With the wind blowing in her hair and putting her trust in Jack's hands once more, she opens her eyes to the incredible sensation of flying. In the end, their fleeting romance was not meant to be, as few survivors made it out alive from the wreck. Thankfully, the ahistorical part of the tale had a satisfying ending for the lovers. As Rose passes away in her old age, she's reunited with Jack and the others who lost their lives back on the Titanic. Number 3.
Wait for me, I'll be coming home. Wait for me.
Boo! Ah! No, not like that one! This kiss actually takes place early in the film. Sam, played by Patrick Swayze, walks in on his girlfriend Molly, played by Demi Moore, making pottery in the middle of the night. He playfully wrecks her creation and joins her in the not-so-subtle sensory activity. The clay is messy and tactile, giving the couple other ideas. This scene is so well recognized that it's been spoofed ad nauseum, and the song Unchained Memory will forever be linked to pottery making. Later, Sam and Molly are out for a walk while disagreeing about saying I love you. All of a sudden, the couple is mugged and a shot rings out. Sam doesn't realize that he's died until he turns and he sees his body in Molly's arms. He can't touch anything, but he can see and hear everything going on. Understandably, Molly has trouble accepting his death and feels his presence constantly. Sam gets in contact with Old May, a psychic played by Whoopi Goldberg. Sam asks her to relay to Molly, I love you, but Molly knows that he never says that. At Sam's insistence, Old May retorts with ditto instead, and Molly has no choice but to believe. Sam doesn't know why he's still around, but Old May knows he has unfinished business. So Sam learns to interact with the physical world and uses it to haunt his murderer and scare him away from killing Molly too. Eventually, Molly is frustrated and still suspects Old May as a fraud, but with Sam's new abilities, he proves that he's really there and she's telling the truth. As much as he appreciates having a spiritual conduit to talk with Molly, Sam still wishes he could touch her. Old May suggests Sam use her physical form to be with Molly one last time. Unchained melody plays again as they reunite. Molly's slow dance with Old May mirrors the earlier intimacy that Sam and Molly shared, but took for granted while he was still alive, making that kiss all the more important. It's an incredibly original and touching moment of love that transcends death.
Number 2.
Still isn't over.
We've seen a kiss done in the rain many times in cinema, but this rain kiss struck a chord with audiences and critics. The Notebook follows the love story of Noah and Allie. They first meet as teenagers when Allie is visiting Noah's town for the summer. It was love at first sight. Noah pursued Allie persistently, even climbing a Ferris wheel and threatening to let go if Allie didn't agree to go on a date with him. Despite being from two different worlds, as Allie is a rich city girl and Noah is from a working class family, they fall deeply and truly in love. By the end of the summer, they believe that they are going to be together forever. Allie's family, however, tears them apart and they break up. 7 years later, Noah is lonely and Allie is engaged. She sees Noah's picture in the paper after he has completed a house that they talked about restoring and living in together and is compelled to go see him. Noah takes Allie out in a boat to see the ducks. As they are coming back to shore, they are caught in a rainstorm. Allie finally addresses the elephant in the room and asks why Noah never wrote to her. They realize that their love never faded and they never got over each other. The moment then builds to this passionate kiss. You can see the desire, pain, and love in that instant. It feels almost desperate, like they need to be together in this moment no matter what. The rain adds to the romantic effect as well. The chemistry between Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling was electric. They even ended up dating in real life. It was a passionate and iconic kiss that people still love 15 years later. And the number 1 best movie kiss is... Whether you think Peter Parker belongs with Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, it's impossible to forget this iconic kiss. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man premiered in 2002. In case you haven't heard the basic plot line in this or any of the many Spider-Man movies released since then, high schooler Peter Parker is bit by a genetically modified super spider. This causes him to gain powers and become your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. From the beginning of the movie, the audience can see that Mary Jane is going to be a focal point of the film.
This, like any story worth telling, is all about a girl. That girl. The girl next door. Mary Jane Watson. The woman I've loved since before I even liked girls.
Many times we see the pair interact both as Peter or Spider-Man and MJ. Mary Jane becomes fascinated with Spider-Man when he saves her life from the Green Goblin. Little did she know that this was going to become a pattern. One night, MJ is cornered by some men in an alley. Spider-Man comes to her rescue. He quickly flees though because his mask was not on throughout the fight, but she pursues him. Spider-Man appears upside down and Mary Jane says she wants to thank him for saving her life, again. She pulls down the mask just enough to kiss him, and possibly one of the most iconic kissing scenes on screen was born. What made it great was the unique twist it put on the kiss. We'd seen kisses in the rain and kisses given after damsels in distress had been rescued, but never something like this. It has been parodied and imitated too many times to count. Ask anyone about the Spider-Man kiss and they will know exactly what you were talking about.
We want to hear what you guys think. What's your favorite on-screen kiss?
What do you want to see us cover next on the show? Leave a comment and let us know.
To keep in touch, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch where I stream on Wednesday nights.
I was having the strangest dream. Heather, you were telling me a story?
Oh, no, that wasn't a dream. That really happened.
Yeah, we wanted to do like a whole Princess Bride bit with you since you were sick.
Okay, but then there was this weird part where Heather was talking about Aiyanna and her forbidden love with that stupid dummy. It was so creepy.
I am just as scared and confused about this as you are.
Happy Valentine's Day.